Aether is that it has been infamously known as a great answer against Beatrix.
Yep.
Because it does match up well in terms of DPS. Like if you pair up two heroes, if you pair up a Beatrix and against into an Aether and they fight each other, it doesn't come down to mechanical skill. Aether will always win the man fight unless the Beatrix gets a perfect shotgun into the face.
It's true damage accompanied by the passive, but we'll know for sure if TNC will finally rise back on this game or will Onic remains with the magic at hand on the leaderboards.
Yeah, and so far 3 sprints versus 3 flickers. They kind of want to go for the engage as soon as they can.
For Onic Philippines, yeah.
Onic Philippines in the same way wants to at least push with the concealed play as much as they can. So right now, they are going to be fighting for that Elite Wonder. Who will be the one to actually get it? It is going to go to the hands of SDZYZ, and that is going to be disengaged coming in from Onic Philippines.
It's the advantage of having the Thams jungle. One of the filthiest hero in MPL. I believe one of the highest win rate as well.
Yeah, and there's a lot of things. There's a lot of option for Thams, but that delay for Bentings didn't make the cut.
Yeah. But at some point, this is indeed going to be another Cho jungle, right? We've seen this before all throughout, and they've maximized on this potential. I think this was a 3-game series, but so far Rapidot caught a little bit of a ruckus, and Escalera choking it down. That's going to be 15% of health remaining. Rapidot goes out.
Yeah, now we're seeing how TNC is utilizing their early game capability. It's always about the Valentina's passive being utilized throughout the map. As you were seeing now, they're rotating aggressively, and now Sensui is going to trap in too. But for the meantime, TNC right now is trying to enable the gold lane as well.
Yep, that's the thing though. Wave the Dragon already been copied here by Escalera, so it is going to be of major or essential use later on because, you know, less than a second, or we are actually here right now. The turtle already spawned, and SD and TNC right over there trying to take the objective.
We can see, the Phoenix Army could have a great positioning right now, Midnight.
Yep, typical fashion of for TNC, have early game momentum on your side and disrupt the enemy jungler. And now Sensui is feeling the heat of the power of the Phoenix during the early game, especially made very possible by the Valentina and then also the Franco. And Onic Philippines, again, they don't have any way of dealing with the presence of the Valentina and Franco during the early game. That's the reason why SDZYZ was very aggressive on pressuring the enemy jungler or Sensui on taking his resources. And right now you're seeing that the fruits of their labor, SDZYZ is sitting at level 6 and Sensui is sitting at level 4.
It's just Cram doing Uranus things. Mina on the bottom lane, one has been trapped onto Phoenix Army.
And Nets is out of the equation. Take a look at the rotations, man. Cram taking attention from top side, and the rest of the members of the Phoenix Army just handling things down at the bottom. And right now it's Rapidot, man. Focusing on Bentings and taking the energy shields coming on the bot side.
I have seen this fight with Uranus trying to divert attention on the Onic Philippine side. Look at this. Tower down as early as 4 minutes. We're not even reaching 4 minutes. 3 minutes just.
And that's going to be another zipline experience brought to you by the Franco that has managed to take over in like the previous series, man. And I have to say though, Cram has been marvelous with the use of this Uranus throughout the past few games that they've had. And in this instance, you know that he can deliver and maximize on the potential on trying to figure out how he would be able to take the attention coming from the top side.
Yep, I think this is the highest gold lead we've ever seen. Prior to 4 minutes, TNC is already sitting at 2.5k against Onic.
Put on clip.
Oh, another hook.
Sensui is gonna go down once again, man. Rapidot and Super Prince, you better run away because Cram is not gonna be here to stay for you guys. It's TNC, man. Going back to what you said a while ago.
It's the Death Bush right now being utilized. It's the rotation, early game power spikes of TNC. The hooks right now is very, very crucial.
I miss this. This is typical TNC gameplay. Super fast pace. And again, the main difference. Oh, Ryota?
Yep. I am speed. Inspired by Lightning McQueen. And Night goes to you, my boy. It's Esmeralda down. And another major objective goes to the hands of the Phoenix Army.
My goodness.
Clearly a good early game win for TNC.
Fast rotations all across the board. And again, SDZYZ is constantly invading the jungle of Onic Philippines. And Sensui cannot do anything about it.
Yeah, and at some point you kind of want to measure how Onic Philippines would be able to take care of business here, knowing that they are 4k gold down, but it's just TNC, you know, making the right advancements, making the right plays, taking a look at the items, Midnight.
Yeah, 4.2k gold, 4.3 now for the Beatrix with the Fury Hammer, built the first course, to delete the early game armors that are present on the heroes. And right now, almost nearing the completion of the Blade of Despair. It's a little shy away. There you go. The BOD is now built up on Yasuo, and TNC already 5 minutes in is sitting at 4.6k gold lead. And I think if you're Onic Philippines, you're already thinking about tapping out.
Man.
It's such a big lead.
It's a 2-level gap against a gold lane. It's Nets against Yasuo and a Beatrix.
Yeah.
See? They have the chance to go, they have the confidence to go all in, approaching 6 minutes. It's just 6 minutes.
And keep in mind, they don't even have tools to deal with the Uranus and the Thames at the moment. Even though, as the Esmeralda now has the Dominance Ice, the main problem is that the sustain, yes, it is a factor for TNC, but the raw tankiness of these heroes, like, look at the Onic Philippines. How do they deal damage against this hero?
And that's another problem because as far as I can remember, Sensui doesn't even have his first item.
Yeah,
We're already
exactly.
6 minutes in.
Yeah, it's sacrificing one thing since you have a Demon Slayer emblem, right? Since right now is the Cho it could work in some team fights or team capability setups, but some if it's like the activation time.
Yeah.
Okay. If it works, it works.
Antek
I mean,
mana?
at this point, Sensui is just a walking crowd control. It's a walking wave of the dragon in the face of TNC. Again, they don't have damage. It's all gonna come out from Nets, but at this moment, Nets hasn't even built up his mid-game items.
Yeah, and at this point, man, this is just a walk-in W for TNC in like the first 6 minutes and 40 seconds in because they have secured another major objective, and that goes to Turtle. Looks like 3 Turtles going down to answer the Phoenix Army.
Yeah, we're seeing the problem right now of Onic Philippines. Yes, the damage is needed for Nets to counter out TNC right now because a lot of things are happening. Rotation, ganks, and also this Valentina. It's a level 9 Valentina. So up against this Super Prince, they're trying to go up against the XP even for the damage.
Yeah. And in the same way, man, take a look at the gaps in terms of levels, right? Sensui, just level 9, SDZYZ with his classic. I just noticed, man, the Demon Slayer emblem is just right over there. And level 11, classic vintage SD.
Objectives is the name of the game here for TNC, and right now Onic Philippines, they have no ways of trading against the aggression of the heroes of the Phoenix.
Yeah, this is one thing that they need to worry about. They need to get objectives, they need to get kills, but at some point, they're being diverted if Bentings are just around every bush, delaying every move that they can get.
Yeah, and at some point though, TNC needs to assert their dominance given that there's still a late game advantage coming in from the side of Onic Philippines with Nets using that Irrital you're seeing. That sniper hitting, and that's just one big problem from all the many problems that TNC is giving Onic right now.
I love that you pointed out Nets on the late game capability. There's a lot of things that they need to be worried about. So for TNC, this is an open window. If they lose it, at some point in the late game could be a struggle for them.
Yeah, but the main problem is that how do you get to the late game? Look at the Yasuo. He's sitting at level 11 while Nets is sitting at level 9. Just got level 9. While Yasuo, well, 1/4 towards level 12. But the item difference, there's already 2 items on Yasuo, and Nets has got 1.
Really
Yasuo
close.
is almost near his 3rd item.
That's the problem here, man. That's a slight problem that they have here. They're not going to have enough damage to back things up. So now they're somewhat passive with what they want to do. They're trying to figure out damage to back things up. So now they're somewhat passive with what they want to do. They're trying to figure out how to access the backlines of TNC, and unfortunately they weren't able to do so.
I love that you mentioned backlines because one thing that we're looking at the lineup of Onic Philippines right now, there's no frontline defense. There's no a person or a hero could go up against the damage either from Yasuo or Escalera.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things. That's a hook for Bente.
Yup, and Rapido
Look at
just
that.
goes bye-bye. TNC, man. Phoenix Army, stand up. This is the time to shine. It's just the major objectives that they're handling, turning it into kills. And now you're taking a look at the 7k gold lead.
You see the damage from Yasuo, just 1 hit from the Renner. Not even the ultimate, just 1 normal attack. Deleted, obliterated Rapido on that single shot. And TNC, right now, the Beatrix has Malefic Roar, BOD, and Hunter Strike.
Man.
No armor is gonna save you from the damage output of Yasuo. At this point, everybody on the side of Onic dies within 3 hits.
No, this is a big problem right now. They need to go on with the defense to capitalize a great stronghold against TNC, especially now they're pushing down bottom with the Lord.
Yep, Rapido still at the front lines, hopefully trying to be able to defend this Lord, and they will be able to successfully do so given that there's not a lot of tankiness coming in from that major one. But so far, it's just a 30% health left from the turret. Yasuo is just tipping in the damage coming in for the rest of the members of TNC, and it looks like they will go on a halt for just a little bit unless Bentings has to say something about it. But so far, it's Onic with the defense.
Yeah, they need to counter out the defense here, especially if you want to get in with the hook of Bentings. You can turn things around with a Cho, right?
Yep.
Since Sensui has that ability right now, one thing he could capitalize is the defense items. But will it be enough, though, for the timing? Cram is just doing things, delaying and diverting the attention of Onic Philippines to get hands on those objectives.
Yeah, this is the typical walking bouncer outside of your base, where you cannot even go beyond the Uranus at this point. Like Onic Philippines, if they want to go past the Uranus, they have to bring 5 heroes. But that is 5 heroes that TNC sees, and right now they control not the entirety, but the majority of the map. Because of course, base included for Onic Philippines, they still have control of that area. But TNC, they have at least 88 or 90% of the map controlled by this Uranus.
Yeah.
Just by standing there.
One man alone. It's just Cram things.
One Cram is all it takes,
Just
man.
by standing there, you control the entirety of the map.
He's like, hey, yo, you gotta stop right there, right?
3 lanes, bro. 3.
Yeah.
You don't have a ticket. You can't come out.
You don't have an ID, man.
You don't have an ID.
You can't enter at this point.
You don't have an antigen test.
Oh, that's true, right? So at some point, what are they going to be able to do? Because now it's just TNC raining on their parade, and Onic Philippines just stuck on their base.
I am talking about comeback now for Onic Philippines. This is a 4-level gap on Yasuo, yes, but one thing that they can utilize here is an ambush play for TNC. But who will be the person here for Onic Philippines to do that?
Honestly, it has to be Rapido, but the main problem is that he can't even stand in the front lines.
Yeah.
Like Escalera is such a nuisance against the lineup of Onic Philippines. Whoever goes near Yasuo gets heavily punished by Escalera. And guess what? Escalera has his own way of the dragon. So if you ever come near close TNT, you will get kicked, you will get hooked, you will get bitten, and you will be shot on the spot.
It's like looking yourself at a mirror.
Yeah.
Same thing. And now Onic is still trapped in the base. A lot of resources. This freeze lane could actually push Onic Philippines to go out.
Yeah, they're really going to be forced to get out because there's not a lot of room, man. Take a look at the items here.
Yeah, if you if you internalize the damage output that you're seeing at the hands of the Beatrix, it's a walking death squad, okay? It's a walking death squad.
Just imagine the damage, bro.
Valentina even had the opportunity to buy a Clock of Destiny. You don't usually see that on Valentina's. You usually see the Genius Wands, the the Enchanted Talisman.
Yeah.
But with Escalera, was like, I got time. Get me some Clock of Destiny. It's Clock of Destiny time, bro.
It amplifies
It's
the
not Onyx time.
passive.
In other words, man, bro woke up and chose violence, landing it on the inhibitor turret, and so far the Lord is still alive. So this looks like go time, Cram time, taking on the front line for the rest of the members of TNC. Now, Onic Philippines, they're doing their best to try and defend their base. It is still Nesto and Sensui right over there, catching the bloody hunt, and there's nothing you can do when that iron hook lands on you. It's still gonna be another one of I am offended combo as the Matrix is
Power is gonna hit the heroes of TNC.
But here
oh man.
we'll know now for sure. It's 2 heroes down for TNC, a trade of 2-1. Clearly a good slow comeback for Onic Philippines for this base defense.
Yeah, okay. So fortunately for them, it was Super Prince that has managed to get those 2 major kills, but Nets contributed in 1. So at some point, he also gets extra gold. And taking a look at the items right now, he already has those 3 built. Locking in those leg plates at some point just for the defensive ability. And he's gonna keep it stuck for there as long as he can because he wants to scale as soon as possible.
It's just absurd to see that there's almost 5,000 gold on top of Yasuo versus the Irithel. This means that he has enough of a space to switch out items, I believe. Yasuo hasn't purchased a bottle of potion, so I feel like I feel like if he ever plans to change his item, like for example, the Hasklock can be changed up to an immortality for the second round.
For an extra defense,
Yeah, for TNC, the main concern that you have right now is just bypassing the heroes of Onic Philippines, because you just want to get the Beatrix over to the base of Onic Philippines. Again, it's just a matter of timing the minion waves for both sides. But Onic Philippines, they're eyeing at the pickoff against Yasuo. So I feel like TNC, they need to address the fact that the Ruby will always be able to catch off the Beatrix inside the base, because you need to close the gap. So if you're Yasuo, you will always be near the base of Onic Philippines. So Rapidon inevitably will get a catch on you. So Yasuo should be thinking about round 2s, like the Immortalities, the Winter Truncheons, so that they don't get outlasted by the team fight of Onic Philippines.
Yeah, a huge respect right now for Onic Philippines, not attempting to take that Lord right now. It's the defense they want the priority.
Yeah.
And I love that you pointed out, it's Rapidon's going to be the one who's giving the space for the team. They still have an Eve though. They're still Super Prince, okay?
Yep.
They get it with the backline access, because if you're talking about 3 Beastie Boys, why not get the one off guard?
Yeah.
It's just Yasuo.
Yeah.
You know, you have 3 problems still.
Yeah,
wonder.
yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do at this point, right? So, at some point, you kind of want to depend on that skill, but at the same time, also the positioning with the Eve, right? Because Super Prince, at some point, he has that, 2-0-0 skill. So, at some point, that is still hopeful for them, but it is still TNC that's looking forward to the charge of the base.
Such a perfect 3-lane push for TNC. They timed it
Equilibrium.
perfectly.
It's like an orchestra right over here, man. It's Cram leading the front lines once again.
Look at it,
And it's
Yasuo.
SDZYZ. Where is Escalera and Yasuo gonna come from? Conceal play is right over here, but they're not gonna be successful in landing down the backdoor play. So far, it's SD being pushed once again with the Way of the Dragon, but it is gonna be another shotgun play. And so far, so good for the side of Yasuo. And there you go, SD, running back, and that is gonna be the end of the fight. TNC giving them a nice game.
A clean textbook play for TNC.